Yeah.
This looked like it was going to be a blowout. It was 14-3 like that. Nico Collins gets injured, hamstring on the long touchdown, doesn't play again that day. Bills have a chance to get back into it. They almost did. But, my God, Josh Allen, one of the PFT writers said it was the first time since 1992, Stan Gelbaugh, where a guy threw 30 or more passes and completed fewer than 10.
Hey, that is Texans won. Great job. That is the stat of the game, right there. Josh Allen is arguably the greatest thrower in football. He, yes, can be a little reckless with decisions at times. I know that. But, damn, he's actually got great control of the ball, and he's very accurate. That right there speaks to a way bigger problem with their football team. And all the problems we always talk about with them. This is it. It's gotten back. I don't believe in the Bills. I think they're a fugazi. I think they're well coached, but it goes back to it's still Josh Allen, and I don't know what else they got on offense. They got a good O-line. I don't know if there's anybody you can depend on in the pass game to be a real threat. They got no guy that really scares you or separates you. Their defense, I feel the same way, and Von Miller's not playing right now anyways, and he's certainly not the star he once was. The Bills kind of beat up on the poor early on in the year. I think it's fair to say that. Okay, beat Arizona. We know they know how to play Miami. Jacksonville's struggling, right? But then it gets to, hey, a different class of football team. Whoa, Baltimore, our offense doesn't look good. Whoa, Houston, whoa, our offense doesn't look good. I know they scored 20 points, but as we unpack that, it won't be an impressive 20 as we talk about it. So, yeah, I'm worried about them big picture with all the same crap we always talk about with Buffalo the last few years.
Well, I was calling them a Jenga tower last year, and they finally got it together. There was that hit piece from Tyler Dunn's golongtd.com that really galvanized the team. I had Rasul Douglas tell me that during the season. Josh Allen told us that at the Super Bowl. They're going to need some organic, natural thing to pull them together and get them out of this. And should they be in the Devontae Adams conversation?
Yeah, I think
Don't
they
you
should
think
be.
They should be
Yeah,
in it?
they should
Especially
be
if
one of
he's
the
going
teams.
to the Jets, potentially.
I
you keep
think
him from
so.
the Jets, and you
Right.
get him for yourself, and you need him. You need him if you can get him.
They definitely need him.
And they got that second-round pick floating around that they got for Stephon Diggs.
They don't have anybody on their offense that makes you think or change your game plan at all. Their offensive line's better. Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator's made them tougher. We know James Cook is pretty good. The tight ends are all solid. Kincaid is showing that he's real good. Definitely, I get it, right? But there's no receiver that you look out on the edge and go, oh, wow, we got a double team him or do that. There's nobody on the defense you look at to go, oh, wow, we got to change our game plan because of them. We don't. You know, it's going to be the same old story. And even with Devontae Adams, I just don't know if there's enough there. Like, something might galvanize them, but what? Galvanize them to just get in the playoffs again? They're missing upper-crust, top-quality football players.
They were the 2 seed last year.
I get it. Right. I understand.
And they had a chance to beat the Chiefs.
Yes. Yeah. But they really got dominated by the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs controlled the football game. I get that. It was a down year for the Chiefs. I mean, it wasn't even a special year. They got hot right there. It was, hey, the AFC, Burrow got hurt. Some things fell the right way to where they got to be the 2 seed. I get that, but still, even being in the 2 seed last year, how did they get there? I mean, Josh Allen went crazy the last 8 games of the year. I mean, that's what it basically comes down to.
They made an offensive coordinator change after that embarrassing Monday night. Too many guys on the field for a field goal attempt.
Right.
And it was the thing, and it happened naturally.
Yeah,
you can't contrive it.
definitely.
It was the hit piece on Sean McDermott that brought everyone together.
Yeah, it did. But you know, you look at and you break down yesterday, and we'll talk about the Texans too. But they have three drives in the second half. One of them was a big pass, a big run, and an unnecessary roughness penalty. That was the whole drive. That's how they got down there and they scored. The next one was got the ball in good field position. It's 4th and 5. We just throw a hitch route out to the left to get the first down, and Keon Coleman made somebody miss and ran for a touchdown. But I don't get those. That stuff doesn't give me confidence to go, oh, this is a well-functioning, you can't stop this machine. So far, if you really go back and watch the Bills on offense throughout the year, it's not as much as surgical destroying as you think. The Jacksonville game, yes, but the games other than that were a little bit of like, oh, their defense got a turnover. Josh Allen made a big play, right? Oh, they did this. Josh Allen scrambled, made a big play. Boom. Oh, now the other team's down. And that's how they kind of started out 3-0. But I don't know if that's sustainable, like we talked about with some other teams. To play the upper quality football teams, you can't win that way.
Whether it's Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams, something they need to be looking.
I think so.
A receiver.
100%.
And they can't. And it's just like, it's the same idea as Cleveland. Don't be stubborn. Don't be stubborn. Oh, we spent all the offseason talking about how we don't need a number one receiver. So what? You got a chance to go get one. Go get one. You can talk your way into whatever reality you have to make you feel good about it.
Right.
But if you can change your reality for the better, forget about all the stuff you said and go do what makes your team better.
Definitely. And you know, they're going to fight. I think they are well coached on the defensive side of the ball. McDermott always has good game plans. They certainly benefited, to your point, with Nico Collins being out of the game. That took a lot of pressure off them. Right, they did make a few plays on defense, but again, too, against the quality teams, C.J. Stroud, Terrell Bernard, he made a great interception when they were driving on the fringe red zone there and kind of controlling the game, and you thought, oh, they're going to put the Bills in a tough spot. Right, C.J. Stroud fumbles with a guy just sticking his hand out when they're backed up. That gives them the short field goal to tie the game 20-20. Again, the plays, they're great. I get that, but that's not the type of things where I go, oh, that team looks dominant. They're really doing some things that the other team has real issues with and all of that. You know, they're fight and they're good. I get that. And they're a playoff caliber football team, but still miss things that make me ever saying they have any chance of being a Super Bowl caliber football team.
And let me address one thing that happened in the fourth quarter of yesterday afternoon's game between the Bills and the Texans, because it was a strange moment. And we have these happen from time to time where player goes down, player either gets hit in the head or head hits the turf.
Yeah, right.
Player is gone for a little while. Player comes back like nothing happened, which is fine. There's a process in place to clear players who possibly have suffered a head injury. And that process did get activated here, and for good reason. We see him hit the ground. We see the aftermath of it. They're not checking his ankle. They're not checking his leg. They're not checking anything other than, are you okay?
Yeah.
And we've watched enough football that sends up the red flag. And it did, because as Allen said after the game, he rolled his ankle on the hit while he was in the blue medical tent. He was told that they need to check him for a concussion. And they did, and they cleared him. And that's fine. They have an apparatus for checking and clearing guys in real time. Now, there have been other instances in the past that we look at, and this is where medical science and common sense sometimes aren't necessarily the same.
Yeah.
Okay, and he missed one play. He missed one offensive play. He missed like 5 total plays. He missed a punt. He missed 4 Texans plays, and he missed one more play and rushed out onto the field. 2 minutes and 30 seconds of game time. 6 minutes and 6 seconds of actual time. Pete Demolitis clocked it last night. From the moment his head hit the turf to the moment his foot touched the field,
right.
6 minutes and 6 seconds. And again, the NFL's created the apparatus. The NFL had to create the apparatus because the commissioner and DeMaurice Smith got called to Congress 15 years ago this month to say, what the hell are you guys doing with head injuries? And then all of a sudden we got the return to play, and there's all these new procedures, and that's good. That's good. Sometimes outside pressure forces good change.
Sure.
But it's hard not to look at a situation like that with our eyes, our lying eyes, and say,
Yeah, I hear you.
Tua's back injury.
Right.
J.J. Watt showing up with sunglasses at night like he's Corey Hart.
Right.
That's before your time. You know, he's got why has he got a shaded visor on? Light sensitivity is one of the primary symptoms of a concussion. He's not having a concussion. He passed all protocols.
Right.
He just has a dark visor on. Stop asking. So how are we not? I mean, we're failing in our jobs if we don't express some degree of, okay, if that's what you say, hey, you're in charge of the process. The rest of us are allowed to use our eyes. Yeah, I'm not a doctor, but I can use my eyes.
Yeah, no, I think all of us were sitting there yesterday in the NBC viewing room. We all saw the replay. We all saw how hard he hit the ground.
And the reaction.
The reaction, eyes closed, rolled over, like, oh man, that was a tough one. I'm seeing 3, Mick, right? It was that kind of reaction, certainly. Josh Allen, I know, just like a lot of the great quarterbacks,
Play.
is tough. He's stubborn, and he probably right away was like, my ankle hurts, right? Because that's what I would have done. I don't give a damn. I want to play
We've
too.
seen that time and again.
So, yes, right. And the good players are definitely smart enough in that moment to know, wait, don't let me grab my head and show anything like that.
Heinz Ward told that
And
story all the time. Grab his knee.
Let me say something else at first so it doesn't become the concussion protocol and all that. And players, again, yes, they're wise enough to do that type of stuff.
And look, there has been a cultural shift, but it hasn't completely eradicated the fact that
No,
you're
it's
talking
still
about human
football,
beings who are
meatheads who
incredibly
love the sport.
competitive.
Right.
Remember when Joe Burrow said it when we were going through the Tua stuff 2 years ago? This is what we signed up for.
Yeah.
And it is what they signed up for. I mean, we're talking about clearing Tua to come back. What's going to happen? He may get another concussion because you know what? They happen. You get hit in the head. Guardian caps. Why is guardian caps a hot topic? Because when you get hit in the head, they're thinking it's going to give you less of an impact and less of a potential for a brain injury. And again, it wasn't a spot check. The concussion evaluation procedure was activated.
Yep.
Why was it activated? Because of what we saw. And when it takes only 6 minutes and 6 seconds of real time for the guy to be back on the field, and it only takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds of clock time, and he misses only one offensive play, it's going to make people, and just look at social media, it's going to make people say, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And to his back injury and TJ Watt's tinted visor and nothing to see here, and that's a problem. I go back to, which Super Bowl was it when Edelman...
Seahawks.
The Seahawks, when they came back from the 10-point deficit, it's like, because here's the challenge. The worst thing they can do in their mind is take a guy out for a full-blown in the locker room. I remember Julian Bales telling me this years ago. He's one of the doctors that was involved in the whole epiphany of CTE. The only way to do it right isn't in the blue medical tent. The right way to do it is take him into the locker room, shoulder pads off, have some Gatorade, sit there and collect yourself, and then let's check you out.
Yep.
But the worst thing they can do, in their mind, I believe, is take a guy out for 15 minutes of real time, a key player in a key moment of a game, and then, he's fine. He was fine all along. He never should have even been in here for these 15 minutes. That's what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah, I hear you. It's always going to be a struggle. It's going to be a tough thing. Everybody on that sideline, and doctors included, feel the pressure of that. They feel Josh Allen's pressure. They know he wants to get on the field. They know how important he is to that team when he is on the field. It's a delicate balance there, certainly. But, yeah, it definitely looked like he hit his head pretty hard yesterday, and glad he got back in the game and mounted the comeback. But, yeah,
hey,
I hear you.
Remember Tua's concussion from Christmas Day 2 years ago? Nobody even knew he had an issue until he came in the next day, and they're like, man, Tua's not right.
Right.
So, and that could happen today with Josh Allen.
Yeah,
or he may have to do his best if he, and again, we're not saying it's right, but we're also not morons. Well, we are, but we're not morons on this. We know the culture, and we know that Josh Allen is not going to want to miss next Monday night's game against Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets.
Definitely not.
All right. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.